Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Biajilu Ubu. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing.
I love your top.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous.
We're babbing after everybody has babbied their own. I decided to babby my own today. But tomorrow I'll be taking my daughter to the Akada Children's Book Festival. She's a published author, and she's going to be on the panel of one of the young authors. Presenting her book. I'll also be with the physical copies of the book for anyone who wants to
Have you brought for us in this place?
No, I've not brought. I was waiting to do a lunch, but by the time I came back, money can't finish. So we're hustling now. Yes, I need to recoup before, but I'll do like a book lunch for her.
Nice.
And I'm really proud of her. She's just 14 years old, and it's showing me that, okay, we're trying. We're doing things right, small, you know. But we're going to be there.
Because you're talking about it, I'll be there as well.
Oh, nice.
You were there last time when I was there.
Yeah.
With your kids, so it's the same thing. The Akada Children's Book Festival. I'll be reading my book as well.
So Miriam actually wrote the foreword in Kosiso's book. So Miriam's name is in front of the, the authors people. Authors people.
Hi, Dintokwe.
I'm good. The only thing on my mind is how to sell houses. I needed to break the jinx of selling high. So I have houses in Magodo, in Ikeja GRA. They are luxury houses, not land. I need to break that. I've sold a few houses before, but like the past 3 months, I've been marketing. It's like people don't seeing it. Or you
houses,
money
or not land now.
Buy house. Anyway.
Oh,
thank you.
The houses are built?
Yeah, built houses within Magodo GRA, Ikeja GRA, those kind of. That's my goal, to sell. Lord, this Friday. The Friday selling Friday.
Hi, Mariam.
Yeah, fine. I already spoke about Akada. I was going to say I'll be at Akada Book Festival tomorrow. See me there, and also Kosi will be there. So,
nice.
So come and buy books. Be buying books of Vultures, be buying Kosi sauce left alone. Just come and support your
What's your plan for the weekend?
Well, today is my mom's 2 years. So I'm going to go to her gravesite today to see her. With this rain, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I plan to go see her today.
When it rains on a day like it's quite significant.
Well, I hope so. So I'm going to go see her. Then from there, we're going to her house. We're just making akara just for the neighborhood, and nothing major. Because my dad's also October 1st. He died October 1st. So we're going to combine it since there. So we'll do something on October 1st, but nothing today, just to reflect, stay home, and just remember today. So 2 years gone. I miss my mom.
How time flies.
Yeah, time has flown. 2 years. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Tinubu woos Nigerians in US to invest back home. India suspends visa to Canada. Soludo ends fees in Anambra schools. Senate seeks justice for MohBad. Former governors' firms, others lose choice land in Abuja. Mba floors Edeoga to retain seat in Enugu as governor. Shebu's office at Government House reallocated. 22 lawmakers move to impeach Ondo deputy governor. And bank raises 13 billion naira for subsidy paying palliatives. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So the FCT minister is at work, Hurricane Wike. They say many prominent Nigerians, some of them former ministers, ex-governors, non-serving senators, top politicians, and different categories of highly placed individuals and firms have lost land allocated to them in Abuja by the FCTA. They said the revocation notice was made public through advertorials in the paper as a result of their failure to develop their property or also for other contravention of relevant laws. Some of the names were mentioned: former governor of Plateau State, Joshua Dariye, former governor of Cross River State. Affected a whole crop of people. Even Peter Obi, presidential candidate for LP as well, was affected by this. Some firms, we have Wema Bank, Diamond Properties Limited, amongst many others. And this is just really that they have either failed to develop the property since they got this land, or there are some laws that they have contravened. And we know that Hurricane Wike, he has said, that he was coming to make sure that, the master plan for Abuja was followed strictly.
Okay,
So the Infrastructure Bank said they will be providing finance to help alleviate the effects of the fuel subsidy removal. The bank has earmarked 13 billion for this purpose, and they'll be using the funds to develop transportation systems and road infrastructure. And a statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Finance said the acting managing director Nkiru Chime and an executive director, Mr. Andrew Nweke, were the ones that made the disclosure in Abuja yesterday when they visited the ministry. And additionally, the bank said they have concession with 8 states and has previously provided interventions in the provision of mass transit, road and rail construction in some parts of Nigeria, and said that since inception of the Infrastructure Bank, they have intervened in the provision of different mass transit roads, rails, construction, and they have like a concession with about 8 states.
Yeah.
For now.
Okay, the Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo yesterday announced free and compulsory education for public schools. He said the move was in line with his vision of an all-inclusive education. So I said that was speaking at the Premier Primary School yesterday in Obosi. He said from the early childhood care development education, that's ECCD, to the GSS, that's the junior secondary schools, was going to be free and compulsory for school-age children. He said henceforth no child within that educational range will be charged fees or any fees to acquire education. Children of school age will no longer be deprived of access to quality education. Core community schools will be upgraded to smart schools in line with their vision. So that's good news. I even thought the education was free across all the states. I didn't realize that some people are still paying.
No.
Primary is supposed to be free.
Yes, I thought so.
Primary school, yeah. I'm not sure of secondary.
The Ondo State House of Assembly has said that they will be following the due process. They sent a letter to the Deputy Governor, Ayedatiwa, and they said 22 of the members are in support of impeaching the Deputy Governor based on the allegation that has been reached. However, the chairman of House Committee on Information, Olatunji Oshati, in a statement yesterday, clarified that this is not an impeachment move. This is an allegation being investigated, that they want to protect the sanctity of the current assembly and they will not falter in their constitutional responsibility to their constituents. So they are going to investigate. They've sent a letter to the Deputy Governor. When the investigation is done, then they will follow through. If there is going to be impeachment, it's still an allegation, and that they would uphold the integrity or in the Ondo State House of Assembly. But the impeachment coming in after the governor is back, based on allegations that there were mismanagement, we're waiting to see how the investigations will go. And if probably it won't just be internal investigation, but there will be a neutral, unbiased investigation carried out by like maybe EFCC or ICPC, so that the people of the state know that it's not because the governor is now back that they are removing the deputy governor from being ambitious to become a governor in future.
The Punch. FG may pay 1.868 trillion fuel subsidy. Marketers forecast as 900 naira to the litre. Pathologists conclude autopsy on MohBad's corpse. Police awaits results. I remain loyal. Forgive me, Shebu begs Obaseki. Court clashes. Relocates to Shagamu. Abiodun tells security heads. Consumers allege sabotage as grid collapses. Worsen outage. Academic record. Delay articles request. Tinubu tells U.S. court. And currency in circulation rises to 2.7 trillion, says CBN report. Okay, which story?
Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu is again, as this report says, has begged the governor Obaseki for forgiveness if there's any mistake he has made as a human being. He made this at his investiture as the Grand Patron of the Catholic Men Organization of Nigeria, Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City. You know, we've taken the story, so we know all the back and forth that's been going on. And so he's once again saying that he misses his governor, and he prays that God will touch the governor's hearts and all of their hearts, and that whoever it is that is in between them, you know, that God will touch their hearts, that God knows that he means well. He still says he's ever loyal to his governor. He made a vow before God, and he's still loyal to the governor. And whatever it is that he's done, he may have been a mistake, but not wicked. He is not a wicked person. And so I guess another cry or plea for forgiveness to the governor. It would be nice at this point to hear from the governor and just see him make some sort of gesture towards reconciliation. You know, it doesn't even have to be my buddy and my best friend now, but just for this back and forth.
Considering that he has been, Shaibu has been consistent in apologizing that this is, yes, I'm ambitious about becoming the next governor, but it doesn't mean that I am against you, I'm not loyal to you.
Okay, let's take another story. The academic record, let me how much time do we have now? Okay, we have to go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Who has the story?
I have a major headline. So the federal government may be spending about 1.68 trillion as subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, from September to December this year. And this was an analysis data provided by all marketers in the sector. It said that the pump price of petrol right now should be between 890 to 900 naira per liter, based on the fall of the naira against the US dollar and the surge in price of crude in the international market. And petrol currently sells between, we know, about 598 naira to 617 per liter, depending on where you are purchasing from. But the government and the NNPCL have not officially admitted that subsidy on petrol has been reintroduced. So people are suspecting that with the current, price, by the time they buy it, that we shouldn't be paying about 500 and something to 617 naira per liter. That likely the president is subsidizing, and then this report is also showing a form of subsidy has been paid. So the report indicated the federal government paid 169.4 billion subsidy in August. And quoting a Federal Account Allocation Committee document, they are saying that the Nigerian liquefied natural gas paid $275 million as dividends to the NNPCL. And NNPCL, according to the report, used $220 million which is about 169.4 billion, which the US rate, dollar rate was 770. And out of the $275 million they used it to pay for the PMS subsidy in the review month. And there is no way the government can sustain the price of 600 and something petrol for us right now. That means subsidy is still being paid, which some of them said is a good thing, but then the government needs to come clean and tell us exactly what is happening. Have we reintroduced the payment of subsidy, and how can we make it better? I said in other parts of the other states, other countries are already buying 1.5 1,500, 1,200 per liter. We are supposed to be paying for fuel now at about 900 per liter based on the current price. Reality, yeah.
Okay.
This if I say they should float it totally, we will feel the pain.
Float what?
If we say they should pay it, we are feeding the corruption.
Okay, the Lagos State Police Command on Thursday exhumed the remains of MohBad, the young man Ilerioluwa Aloba, who died recently. His body was exhumed yesterday. The autopsy was concluded, and but according to the police PRO, they're waiting for the results of the autopsy. In addition to that, the police also said that they've confirmed the arrest of the nurse who reportedly administered injection on MohBad prior to his demise on Tuesday, September 12th. But they're asking about the other arrests of all the other suspects. Police said they can't comment on that for now, but they can only confirm that the nurse has been arrested, has been detained, and then the autopsy results is being awaited. They didn't tell us exactly how long it's going to take, but we'll wait the results and see. Hopefully, we can get some justice.
So there's a forum called the Nigeria. Yeah, people should note that it takes a while to get autopsy results out. So I think I'm going to speed things up. We want accuracy in the results. But we've had 2 shutdowns, grid shutdown within a week. And the Nigerian Power Consumers Forum, which is the convener is Michael Oko, said that he feels that there is a sabotage because they had been following up with TCN, and TCN came out, that's the Transmission Company of Nigeria, had come out to say that based on using the Internet of Things, they can confirm that there's been no issue over and quality maintenance for the past 400 days. And immediately they made that bold statement that things have been stable across the grid. We had a 2 back-to-back shutdown, which was based on the fire incident that was man-made in the Kebbi transmission substation, and that's caused the two breakdowns. So the Nigerian Power Consumer Forum is appealing that there is, this rules out lack of capacity. TCN is doing their own part. The government is doing their part to upgrade and consciously expand transition system. But some people that do not mean well for Nigeria, some people that don't want Nigeria to enjoy consistent power supply are the ones that are causing the sabotage. Who are these people?
Hopefully,
profiting from it now.
Be able to help us out now.
The people profiting from it.
Let's move on to Daily Sun very quickly. Abdusalami Atiku Obi, Uzodinma diplomats raise hope on new Nigeria. Again, gunmen ambush police patrol, kill ASP inspector in Enugu. Onga 78, we need you back. Tinubu tells citizens in the US. Jubilation in Enugu as tribunal upholds Mba's victory. Sack of governor, military orders deployed to enforce curfew in Kano. Youth empowerment, UBA chair Elumelu commended by distinguished leaders. Okay, which story?
Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, had organized a presidential town hall meeting on the sidelines of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Our president was there. He was speaking to Nigerians in diaspora. And the message is basically, you know, we need you here. And you should come back. He says that Nigerians living in the United States need to overcome setbacks by adopting a new mindset that will enable them to succeed in all endeavors. He says that he understands, you know, he can relate with them and their struggles, especially with coming back to Nigeria. He says that he should forget the mistakes of the past, especially with leadership. And that he's always said that the problem with Nigeria is that he's always said that we have no reason being poor, that really it has always been a problem of leadership, but that they should put that aside and realize that this is a new Nigeria open to opportunities, business opportunities, and they should come back, you know, and take advantage of these opportunities. He talks about how proud of them he is, because most of them are people of good behavior. They're bringing making Nigeria proud, and he's proud of them. He understands their struggle. And there's also this lady who was there. She is Olufumilola Obe. She's an inspector working with the New York Police Department, and she says that her job, which is coordinator of African Law Enforcement Organization, which is an association within NYPD, is her own way of also sort of bringing pride to Africa. She's doing everything to make sure that, you know, Africa is represented well in her department. So, you know, he's just encouraging them, come back home. We are ready this time. This is a new Nigeria, business opportunities. Do not be afraid of what has gone past. But I just want to say that, you know, Nigerians in diaspora have heard this conversation every time there's a new administration.
Yeah.
So I know that there will be some PTSD, like,
are you sure?
Can we come? But, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take Governor Mba. So according to the report, the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Enugu upheld the candidacy of the Peter Mba of the PDP yesterday as governor of the state. They affirmed his position. This was done by Justice Kudirat Murayo Akano. She has affirmed the declaration and return of Mba by INEC as the governor of Enugu State. Particularly, she said that in rejecting the LP's ruling, she said that the LP provided inadmissible evidences to prove Mba's certificate was forged. Allegations of overvoting, according to her, wrong computations of results of the LP in the 3 local governments. The panel held that the petitioners failed to prove their case and that the witnesses they called gave exactly the same report for every single polling unit and was wondering why their testimonies were the same even for different polling units. It's also held that the witnesses presented by LP were not duly accredited by agents of the INEC, just different reasons, but at least the governor has been back, the PDP governor, Mba, has been declared back, and he's still the governor of the state.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So gunmen killed 2 officers of the police mobile force while another sustained bullet injuries in Enugu State. According to the Daily Sun, they said the incident happened about 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday along the Udi-Ozala Road as the Operation Restore Peace Enugu team was on routine patrol. And the source disclosed that officers were affected, Danjuma Joseph, an assistant superintendent of police, and Inspector Abbo Elamaje. They were rushed to the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, UNT, and Ituku Zala for treatment, but they could not make it. The doctors on duty also confirmed that both of them died almost immediately. Their bodies were deposited at the hospital's mortuary for, more examinations. And this is just painful. People who are in the line of duty just discharged. However, the area that it happened was cordoned off, and the police promised to carry out more investigations.
Okay. Moving on to Vanguard.
No, I have a story.
Oh, go ahead.
In the Sun, the military. We know that after the tribunal had taken out the NNPC governor.
NNPC candidate. Oh.
The governor of Kano
Kano
State.
State. That
there's been a bit of, some were celebrating a bit of unrest. To quell that, the military personnel were deployed. Coffee was placed on the state. A few flashpoints, they had personnel at the junction to ensure that things don't degenerate. However, the new Nigerian People's Party tribunal that had taken place, the acting chair of the party said that it is obvious that there is a threat against democracy. That's really considering that in Kano State, NNPP won all the elections across. They won in the presidential, they won for the Senate, they won 2 seats in Senate, all the House of Assembly as well as House of Rep. And so how that the deduction of a particular number, 165,000 votes from the governor's tally, which is what gave credence to the change in the tribunal saying that the other party, APC, won, for them was not acceptable, and they will take it to Supreme Court that the NNPP didn't contest the presidential election because they felt that based on what they had seen, it was okay that they wasn't perfect, but they didn't contest it. But that this one that happened within Kano State, they will be contesting what is happening right now because it's obvious that some powers are fighting democracy and taking advantage of it. You took the story
yesterday. There was a reason. There was something there.
Yeah, I did, and that's what she's talking about. The 665,000 votes were invalid.
Invalid.
Okay, another story in Vanguard. Okay, let's move on. Vanguard. Fresh strike looms as NLC's ultimatum expires today. Let's find a story of not taking. Apapa Oshodi gridlock. Sanwo-Olu police others to blame, says PSTT. I fought for democracy, determined to prove it can provide development, Tinubu tells UN. Kidnapped corps members, we are making efforts to rescue remaining 5, says DG NYSC. Again, gunman murder ASP, inspector in Enugu police patrol ambush. Okay, which story are we taking?
The major headline. Okay. So we know that the ultimatum given by the Nigeria Labour Congress is expiring today. That's NLC. And according to the story, they said the leadership of the Congress will be meeting next week to decide when to begin the indefinite nationwide strike. But the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has been meeting with some members of the NLC and some government team to see how they can avert the strike. And according to the Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, and Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, alongside with the Vice President, they said they are putting up a very fantastic package for them, so they are not worried about any form of strike that would happen. It may not happen. But NLC, on the other hand, said that they still have till next week to decide what they want to do in their meeting. And when questions were asked, are you sure the strike would happen or not? They said anything can happen. Let them meet first and decide what is going to happen at the end of the day. So we pray that they find a way to avert this, since the Vice President is giving the body language that they are listening and they are planning something.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, we want our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.